Is Little Nightmares 3 cancelled? Supermassive Games laid off over 90 employees, trying to save their company. What does this mean for Little Nightmares 3? Hello, hi, you're watching Rant and this is an update video. I put out a post asking for your best theories and I'll be going over them today, as well as addressing the cancellation rumors. The article regarding Supermassive Games laying off 90 of their staff was posted in February 2024. The video is claiming that this is conclusive evidence that Little Nightmares 3 might be cancelled is based on outdated evidence. Since then, they've been actively promoting the game with new trailers and even announced a new comic series. I've never spoken about the comic on here, but I thought I'd give my thoughts on it. I think it's great that we're getting so much lore. If the Sounds of Nightmares is anything to go off, I think we're finally going to get answers to a lot of our burning questions in this new spin-off. But before we move on to your theories, please consider subscribing. We are very close to 6,000 subscribers. Let's dive in. Now, with the Sounds of Nightmares making the Ferryman canon again, we can assume the old comics are canon as well. I theorize that Lo is actually an escaped child from one of the villages affected by the North Wind. Not only are there many crows surrounding the necropolis, which are creatures associated with the North Wind, but Lo also wears a charm, and people in these villages wore charms to ward off the North Wind. That's an interesting theory. If true, it would add a lot of depth to Lo's character, and it's good fan service for people who read the original comics. As for the comics being canon again, well, I don't think they were ever decanonized to begin with. It's just a misunderstanding among fans. By the way, I made a whole video about that if you want my full analysis. While the charm Lo wears could just be an aesthetic choice, I'm not going to rule out this theory because it's one of the more unique and creative ones I've seen. What if Lo and Alone eventually go inside Monster Baby and destroy it there? I like that. It would make for an intense sequence. Imagine taking out Monster Baby's mechanical eye from the inside of her head, using both Lo's bow and arrow and Alone's wrench to take down the giant from the inside. The key to making it open world is a new map that connects the Moor, Pale City, Wilderness, and the Nest together. I love the idea of seeing past locations in Little Nightmares 3. It's very possible that one of the mirrors leads to a familiar place, but the idea of connecting them with an open world as opposed to the mirrors is unlikely in my opinion. Little Nightmares games are short and sweet, the polar opposite of open world games, which are often long, expansive, and less story driven. And from what we've seen so far, Little Nightmares 3 looks just as linear as the first two games. What if all the glitched kids were monsters because when the Thin Man took 6, it left her glitch remains, making me think that the Thin Man took the other kids, leaving their glitch remains. And the Thin Man turned 6 into a monster, so what if he turned all the other kids into monsters? That's an intriguing idea. Maybe Lollipop Boy, Pigtails Girl, and all the other children were, like 6, taken into the Signal Tower and transformed into monsters. However, this doesn't explain why we don't see them within the Signal Tower in Little Nightmares 2, because the comics took place before the game. 6 is also very important to Thin Man. She betrayed him, which sets her apart from the other children and could be the reason for her transformation. I doubt every child Thin Man possessed was turned into a monstrous creature, but I never would have thought of that, so it's a nice theory nonetheless. I'm sure the Hanging Man is Otto. If you don't know, Otto is the Canceller in the Little Nightmares podcast. This theory suggests that he succeeded in his goal of entering the Nowhere, but was so overcome by guilt at what he'd done to countless children that he decided to end his own life. I think there will be a chapter where Lo and Alone are split up for the majority, so depending on who you are playing, there will be different puzzles and enemies. Gonna have to disagree with this one, because I'm not sure how this would work if you're playing on your own. I can't imagine there would be a split screen, as that could look a bit weird. I think it's more likely that Little Nightmares 3 utilizes a tethering system in which you can't move too far away from the other player, which keeps both characters in view without splitting the screen. So it's unlikely Lo and Alone will be separated until the very end, perhaps when there's no more gameplay and it's just cutscenes. Well, I think in the last chapter, Lo and Alone will be captured by the Mirror Man and taken to some sort of mirror dimension, and they will have to kill the Mirror Man to escape. And I think there will be a boss battle between Lo and Alone versus the Mirror Man, and they will eventually kill him. After they kill him, the mirror dimension will start to be destroyed, and they will have to run to a mirror to escape, but Lone goes in first, and the mirror shatters, and over time, Lo turns into the Mirror Man, just like Mono, and Alone will end up alone, and who knows, she might become the Spoon Girl. That's a good one. If you don't know who the Mirror Man is, he's one of the monsters in the original print comics, which got cancelled after the first 2 issues. I like this theory, as mirrors clearly play a significant role in Little Nightmares 3. Picture this: Lo and Alone face off against the Mirror Man in his lair, a twisted realm full of mirrors. But these aren't just any mirrors, they're portals, each one leading to a different familiar location. As the Mirror Man chases them, they fight through the desolate streets of the Pale City, the dark confines of the Moor, and the Nest, which has never been seen in a mainline game before, all while trying to outrun the relentless Mirror Man and finish him once and for all.